Today was a solid day at the shop today.
Any
Oh, let me tell you. So, old boy from Saturday with the older lady,
yes.
he called up there, and I was like, "Hey, did I leave my ID up there?" I was like, "Yep." He was
Oh,
like, "Oh, okay. I'll be there. I'll be there shortly." I was like, "Okay." So he pulls up, comes in, and he was trying to act like everything was all good or whatever. And I gave him his ID, and I was like, "Man, what you did Saturday was very uncalled for and unnecessary." He's like, "What you mean?" I was like, I was like, "With the young lady that you came in here to do the party transfer with." Yeah, what you talk about? I was like, "With the gun that you stole." Man, what do you say? Like, man,
Nothing. A bunch of nothing.
yeah, man, like I've been knowing her
For
17
years.
years,
She
and
did that to me with a motorcycle. I'm like,
this,
that has
that.
nothing to do with the conversation we're talking about right
I was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I said, but you need to make better decisions. And then he just started saying something or whatever the case may be, and then he finally left out the store. Then an hour later, he comes back. Dad was like, he back. And so I was like, all right. Then he came in with a box of some holsters and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, she bought me this,
now. I'm just trying to
for
show you
Christmas
kind
gift. I'm just trying to
of.
show you, man, that she uh some I thought, man, it was a bunch of bullshit he was saying. And I was like, okay, uh, because I'm like, none of that got to do with you pushing her, stealing that gun,
no.
and driving off. And none of that got to do with this. I'm like, what you saying don't add up anyway. It was like, cause yeah, I ain't trying to put off a bad impression on you, and this and the third.
It's too late for that
You
now.
know, and I'm like, listen, man, I just told him I was like, yo, you need to make better decisions because that was unnecessary. And I wanted to tell him, I said, if we had anything to do with it, your ass would be in jail right now. And you lucky she didn't want to pursue
Yeah.
any
How
more
come
charges.
short hair was like that?
Yeah, man. So that really threw me off. Um,
You know, that's what it-
anyway,
you want to-
yeah, well, yeah, we do. We definitely got to talk about that.
Yeah. Anyway, you
Well,
wanna,
let's just go ahead and get it started. Then.
you wanna, you wanna.
Man, we keeping it simple and straight to the point today.
Back to the OG.
Old school. Back to the beforehand. Man, look, it's Tuesday. We roughly on time today. Yeah, I need some applause down in the chat for that.
Hey.
Um, listen, everybody, good evening. Thank y'all, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Gun Line. All right, and if you don't know what the Gun Line is, this is where we talk about all things two-way, all things going on in the black community. You know the rest from there. But we back at it. the Bankses, you know.
Bankses.
Mm-hmm.
The Bankses.
You can call me AK Prime Time, AK 30 for 30, you know, Qual, aka, you know, just that guy.
Hey man.
And I'm back with King Supreme.
Hey man, say man, if you want a taco, man, I'm the way to go.
Would you say if you want a taco? Yeah, you on the other side.
I got that supreme cream.
What?
Wait, pause.
Wait, what?
Good evening, Frank. What's going on, man? Long time, bro. How you doing?
Supreme cream.
Long time, my brother. Long time. All right, Speedy, relax, bro. Relax.
Even better with
You know we're
time.
gonna be on here 9:30-ish,
9:30-ish.
Tuesday-ish. Hey, you know we're gonna be there.
Speed it up.
But yeah, man, we back for another episode of the Gun Line, man. You know, a few things to talk about, you know, today. That's what's up, Frank, man. Yeah, man. I know. Look, I've been seeing you, man. You know, you keeping busy, man. I like that, man. I'm learning from you for real. You don't even know it. But I can appreciate you. Listen, man, we got a few things to talk about. You know, obviously we got a couple stories to get into today. You know, but the big thing today, you know, is talking about what's taking place at the end of this month, and the most awaited, anticipated,
Hmm.
highly motivated, fast-paced course of the year. You know, and that's our defensive shooting tactics. Sponsored by the U.S. Army, sponsored by the USCCA, and I believe coming up here soon, sponsored by the Gun Owners of America. So waiting on that call. But right now, yeah, you know, um, only thing we've been doing right now is we trying to keep the shop in high gear. You know, been get some good stuff in, man. Here, turnover's been kind of high, man. You know, as soon as I get some good stuff in before I get to really check it out, man, it's gone.
Hmm.
You know, so shout out to the IRS. You know, bro, I wish I could get a tax
No,
refund.
you know.
Oh my god, man.
If you know, you know.
I don't think I got a tax refund since I was 18, bro. I ain't lying, man. I don't know, man. I
Hey,
want a refund. Um, but no, you know, appreciate everybody that's been coming through. Classes have been going stupid. Um,
insane.
we've been having a good time in our classes, man. You know, shout out to everybody who's signed up here recently and you know, came out to support and getting it concealed, man. Please do not hold on to these certificates, folks. Like, don't hold on to them. You know, go ahead, turn it in, get you concealed, man, and get it done. You know, but yeah. So between that and you know, well, between courses and the shop, you know, we've been having a pretty busy schedule, man. But we got some big news too at the end of the podcast to you know to let the folks know what we got going on. You know what we got coming up here soon. But nevertheless, you know, let's go ahead and break it down. Let's get into it, man. The first thing you know that's mainstream that everybody talking about right now is Brother John Morant. You know, um, now I will say, right? We've been young, you know, and have
How old is
he's 23.
Oh,
You know, we've been young. We didn't did you know stuff before or whatever the case may be. Um, but if you don't know, you know, he, was just on IG Live. He flashed a little gun. What I'm saying? Flashed a little piece of steel. And then everything from there just kind of went nuts for
Come to find out, he took
him.
said gun
Yeah.
on the airplane.
Well, I was getting to that,
Mhm.
but first, I just want to say, as a guy who has made, well, not me personally, but it's him, as a dude who has made $39 million up until this point in his career, he could definitely buy a better gun than the Ruger LC9. I just want to say that first and foremost.
Just clear
you know,
the air for that one.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Don't risk you or put in jeopardy your career over a Ruger LC9. You know.
Well, Ruger, they don't care.
Look,
My
look,
stats go up.
hey. So you mean to tell John Moran about to be the new sponsor or sponsoree of Ruger?
The
All right.
president NBA player sponsor a gun
I,
manufacturer.
I was like, you could definitely do a better gun than that, though, sir. You know. Flash it in the club, which people do all the time. Especially here in Richmond, like like people do that all the time. But the problem lies, or the real problem, in my opinion, is bringing that particular firearm on the plane. You know, they don't go through TSA and all of that stuff. They flying private. But
The thing about a negligent discharge inside of the airplane.
he don't have no holster. You know what I'm saying? He got it, tucked somewhere, or whatever the case may be. But I'm just like, you bringing it on the plane, I'm like, well, you don't have no choice but to bring it on the plane. They're trying to figure out how he got it on the plane or how the gun got to Colorado. Like, how, right? Like, first of all, you in Memphis and you had to fly to Colorado, so there's only one way to get it. And then you talk about some people said, well, you could have bought the gun there, right? Not between practice and then going to game and then going out. You ain't buy that gun there,
He ain't never got
right?
no pistol in
And
Colorado.
right, and then out of state resident, you ain't gonna buy a gun or a handgun at least as an out of state resident, So we can dead that, right? That theory, you know. And it came out that yes, obviously, the gun was on the plane. So that's really gonna. I think long term, people gonna start looking at that as maybe people who fly private need more checks. You know, and
Hmm.
now we don't fly private, so I don't know, and it don't really hinder us, and as it is, but for some folks who fly private, there might be a cause for concern.
But
Um,
to me, I feel like they still fly commercial planes. So I feel like they the commercial side should still have some blame in that as well.
I mean, it's a team plane though. Team owner own that plane.
No,
Yeah.
always. 'Cause I've seen them like when they do like footage and stuff. Sometimes it be a commercial flight, a commercial plane. They rent that commercial plane. It'll
Hmm.
say United, American Airlines, or whatever. But still,
That's the G League.
I've
That's
seen
the G
Travis
League.
Kelsey come off of a United Airlines plane when they come from Super Bowl.
I don't know. I ain't rich, so I don't know how
I'm
it
just
works.
saying, like I'm still, regardless, they still have to go through an airport.
Side note, yes, we do have a range day coming. This more, uh, so this, what we got coming up here in the next couple of weeks is our defensive shooting tactics course. I had to shorten it and say defensive tactics course for the sake of Facebook. Um, but yeah, we got that coming on March 25th. And then let's see. after that, we gonna unpack some few things because we got some membership opportunities and some shooting opportunities and some some private things going on, man. That you gonna hear it here first, right? Unless you was at the shop early and they heard it first. But if you hear right now, then you gonna hear it first. But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. But yeah, man. I mean,
Ooh.
I'm not gonna talk about him and his career, in general, because that ain't got to do with this. But the fact that bringing that that firearm on the plane, is um, that's kind of a big deal. And now, for whatever particular reason, Colorado police doing the investigation. I don't think that
Right.
matters. I mean, I think that's a little,
Okay.
OD for no particular reason. As I see, I went to SHOT Show. Which, man, yes, man, we went. Look, we had a ball at SHOT Show too. He said, "What we get though? Yeah. Oh, look, man, we got exclusive stuff. Some stuff that's in the shop right now, like the Matrix Arms, Glock 19, all steel Glock 19, Sylvan Arms products. Those guys treated us super well.
Suppressor.
I mean, got some Sylvan Arms suppressors on the way.
Compensators,
Glock compensators. We already got those at the shop.
accessory rail. I mean, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then,
His T-shirt.
oh yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos. No doubt. We hooked up. We got some Chaos concealment holsters, which that's what I'm rocking currently. Right. Then we got a gun that I need to go find out where it is because we ordered two of them. The new CAA or MCK Agadas, which those rifles are one of a kind for sure. I haven't seen a rifle that looked like these, and so we placed the order at SHOT Show for them. So waiting for them to get delivered to the store. Super excited about that. If you haven't seen the Agadah, go on our Instagram and see it, man. But it really don't even do it justice. Like, it's nuts. I think we got the 9mm versions instead of they got the 10mm versions too. But yeah, those are gonna be crazy. We got a bunch of stuff.
I mean, then they have a 5.56 coming later.
Yeah, the 5.56. But yeah, that's gonna be like next year sometime or something. But yeah, folding stocks on them, on all of them. The ergonomics it is weird. Coming stock with a 1.5 pound trigger, like
triggers on the outside.
Like that is, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Like we got two, we might have to keep one. Just because how different that gun is. But yeah, man, SHOT Show was amazing, bro. Tiring and God, it almost seemed like I'm like, yo, that was like 2 months ago already.
Right.
I'm like, that's nuts, man. Time is flying.
For the next one.
Right, exactly. Like time to start saving for next year. But yeah, man. So about the airport stuff, Keem, I know you got a story about the airport as well.
Jesus. So you can go on a private jet, man. For those of y'all who don't know, man, all-star comedian Mike Epps, man, was getting ready to leave. I want to say, was it Indianapolis?
Yeah, Indy.
Yeah, he was leaving Indianapolis before TSA stopped him, and they noticed that he had a 38 special in his backpack, fully loaded.
I believe he's a felon. I believe he's a felon. Does it say that in the story?
It does not. Airport police seized a 38 special, fully loaded. And there's a picture of the gun too. Whenever you bring that up, Sean. And he was pretty much leaving, or he was he was leaving from his stand up, and he told the TSA that he simply forgot that he had it in his backpack. Crazy part is, right, he did not get charged at all. Nothing happened to him. In fact, they actually talked about different ways that he can try to get his firearm back, but nothing happened of this.
Because he's rich.
I just thought that was very interesting that nothing happened, and they actually talked about ways he can get his firearm back. Had that happened to us,
Well, I'm going to say this. I actually seen a video.
Is he rocking the plus P's?
It is.
the Hornady,
Those are the ones.
those are Hornady. They gave a full breakdown of what he had.
I've seen a video on Facebook where a guy went through TSA, but he was just packing for like one day. And he said he just so happened to grab a book bag. He said honestly, I forgot. And I've read stories where it's up to TSA or that police department or the airport police to decide if they're going to ultimately charge that person. Depends on the severity of the situation. So that particular guy, he was not a celebrity. He did like travel for work. He's like a travel nurse or something, and he was just going from one state to another, which he couldn't drive. He had to go like overnight and come straight back. And he had his clothes, the clothes he was gonna wear, and the gun in his book bag. And he said he just forgot it was in there. They didn't charge him with anything. So I guess it just depends on where airport you're in, how they feeling that day, or whatever. Just like any other crime you commit.
It's just weird because they freak out with an unloaded gun in TSA.
They freak out by a keychain. Like, what are you saying?
So this gun was I just very interesting to me, like if I didn't have money, but from what you just said, this guy was not famous and he got away. I don't know. I just feel like if that happened to me, it would have been a wrap. I'd have been like, hey, Sean, you need to come pick me up from the holding cell. I
don't think they pick you up, King. They're gonna say, no, you're going to jail. You ain't going home. You going to jail. You going to jail.
Hey, well, luckily for him, for his fame, and Smith Wesson Airway. Luckily, for him and his fame and stuff like that. Right. He able to get out of that. But, I swear, I feel like every week we talking about somebody going through TSA with
somebody just went through Richmond.
Yeah, I know.
What? Damn.
They say going through Richmond with a gun.
It makes no sense, bro. Like, stop the madness. Like, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. Like, stop taking your guns to TSA. And, another thing that I find surprising, when we doing classes, and we're talking to everybody, there are so many people still shocked that you can fly with your guns. And afraid. Like, it's crazy. They're like, what do you mean you fly with them? Like,
taking it at the airport?
Yeah. It's man, I think more people need to know about this. Know that you can do things the right way, fly with your firearms, take them with you and stuff like that. Like unless you're going out of the country or whatever, but more so flying to a place where you're allowed to have your guns. But yes, so trying to build that awareness. But every class, like some people just like so fascinated with that, and I go through it, like it's really such a simple process, So yeah, I hope more people do start taking that stuff with them, But yeah, man, what'd you say? What'd you drop?
Just a couple things in email.
Uh-oh.
Some of these are parodies, just for shits and giggles.
I will say I'm glad that we don't have a story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for real though. Mm-hmm.
Golly.
Can you read that for a second?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen this, King?
Bro, I think I have.
It's just like,
I didn't until she just said
Fuck you
it.
too, bitch! Do something, motherfucker! Motherfucker, why don't you learn how to fucking drive, you dumb fuck? Fuck you too, bitch! Do something, motherfucker! Pull over! You ain't gonna do shit! Fuck up!
Yeah. Yeah.
you know he breaks it.
Hey, you stupid motherfucker! Why don't you learn how to fucking drive, you dumb fuck? Fuck you too, bitch! Do something, motherfucker! Pull over! You ain't gonna do shit! Fuck up!
I just want to say that I don't condone this whatsoever.
But it's funny.
You know, and the fact that he recorded himself doing that, you know, I don't agree with that, you know, but it is pretty funny as a parody. Well, what is it? What's this right here?
The Hitchcock.
Oh, Hitchcock 45.
Or Hitchcock.
Oh, that's my guy. We need to get him out here on the range.
Wait, what?
Put it up here. No, that's not it. Shing.
I'm going for the gong here.
What they gonna do?
I don't know.
No, it's some the link ain't working.
That's not very But it has some other. This is.
It's the Bankses.
And it's this is just a somebody shooting a minigun with tracers.
It's the Bankses at it again.
This is the video of your boy.
We can't see nothing.
I don't want to. I know I had to pause it because I don't want to get copyright straight.
Ah. Hey, spotlight. Oh.
Your boy flexing in the whip.
Uh-oh.
The fact that he was in the club with it.
Lord.
You know, strip club.
He got a big ass vein on his head.
Was you in the strip club? Put your shirt off. What in the orchard going on here?
Yeah. So, Skip Bayless was like, "What are you celebrating, yo? I got mopped off the floor earlier."
Wait, it went too far. You didn't see the gun because it was in the beginning.
Oh, was it?
I believe.
Yeah, he did it kind of quick.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, good Lord. I just want to say, that little LCP, first of all.
Oh, my God.
You can tell that John got nice ice, though. It got nice ice. That little LCP2 that he got, I just want to say, you could have did better than that.
Oh, man.
I don't know why is that doing it. Oh my God! Listen, man.
Just some cool to see.
Damn, John. Said, what are you celebrating?
What are you celebrating? Oh God!
Yes. You seen this?
Baked 5-cheese marinara ziti.
Introducing new Dawn Professional Head.
Mute that.
Right. Would he take down his video?
God damn.
Wherever your business needs to show up.
I just want to say,
I want to do that.
What weapon?
A minigun.
on Call of Duty, I'm
Yeah,
Juggernaut.
Jesus.
Like
That's,
what?
that's what it looks like too when they shoot back at your ass.
Mhm.
Like what is that?
Exactly.
Man, so listen, folks. You know, March 25th, right? The defensive shooting tactics course. One, yes, it is our most anticipated course, man. People have been asking for this for a long time, man, and we got a lot of people that that signed up for it, already, and excited about getting out there. But some people want to know what that course is. Um, so in the defensive shooting tactics course, that is when we are trying our best to focus on intuitive shooting, right? And what I mean by intuitive, I mean learning how to fight how your body would react normally under normal frightened circumstances, right? Training to fight like that, right? What that means is your body, right, naturally will do certain things under um, or in high stress situations, right? So obviously, when we're startled, all right, that stimuli, let's say if it's to the right of us, our body will naturally brace itself and guard from said direction, right? And so we want to be able to uh, manipulate ourselves as well as draw from the holster in doing what our body would do naturally, right? So now the next part of intuitive shooting is obviously we have covered at some point us being able to find our sights or not find our sights, right, in a high stress situation, right? And there are times where the brain will, if you were, there he is.
Hey,
Oh,
You like Quaker boy?
There he is.
we in here. We made it.
Look, there he is. Chilly. Um, so to catch you up, man. We talked about Ja. Um,
Unfortunately, yeah.
then talk about Mike Epps getting caught through TSA with a 38 special in his book bag. He got off though. He got away with because he's Mike Epps.
That's only because
But now we're talking about March 25th, and I'm going through specifically, what this class is built around, the premise of this class, and we're gonna get into the stuff that we're gonna be doing out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so specifically, right? Normally, we're at the range, right? We exercise having a proper grip, right? Extending that firearm, lock it out, and finding your sight picture, right? Focusing on that front sight picture, all right, and then working on your trigger control with a smooth, even trigger press, right? That's what we working on at the range normally when we go, trying to work them fundamentals and things like that, right? That's fine and dandy, and it's good to build that proficiency with learning how to control your weapon, right? And so that's good in that aspect, all right? However, intuitive shooting, right, or focusing on what your body will do if you had to draw your weapon and shoot, right, and discharge it. Now, the brain, right, the way the brain works you may present that weapon, right? But your mind may prioritize the threat or the person, right? So you may not instinctively see your sight picture as if you were at the range on a normal day, right? So intuitive shooting is more or less about balancing the speed, balancing the act of being fast, all right, or speed versus accuracy. All right, we want to work through the proper mechanics of drawing from that holster, presenting to that target, doing so one safely, obviously, but as fast as possible while managing and controlling your recoil, right? While being as accurate and hitting those center mass shots as effectively as possible and as quickly as possible while pushing yourself to do more so, right? And within doing that, you will start to see that the body, right, and your eyes may not catch your full sight picture, right, specifically, right? But driving, if you have that proper grip on the gun, which you should, right? And we're going to make sure that people have understanding of that before we get into that. But having that proper grip on the gun, like your thumb, wherever you driving that thumb to on your support hand, is generally where um, your shots should be landing. It's the same way we describe it as, shooting a basketball, right, or throwing a football, or whatever the case is regarding sports, right? It's the same way that we do with driving, right? We don't necessarily look at the steering wheel, right? We don't look at the basketball, right? We don't look at the football, but we know where it is that we're trying to hit, right? And we make our adjustments based on that, right? And it's the same way with intuitive shooting. So everything is going to be based around that philosophy, right? So a lot of people, they're going to come out and try to find their sites. Yeah, we gonna warm up and all of that type of stuff, and but the goal, and you will be cheating yourself, right? If we trying to line those shots up perfectly, because I want to be the best one to hit, a nice control pair, side by side, right? We're gonna get to that, right? And as long as we controlling that gun, controlling that recoil, we should aim for that. But you're not gonna be able to find your sights, right? Or at least having some of that flash sight picture, when drawing that weapon. Um, so yeah, I mean, the defensive shooting tactics course, man, we try to get, very deep. We want to get everybody out there into the the mindset that this, while this may be paper or cardboard, right? Trying to visualize what it is that we're trying to achieve out there. What's the goal, right? Because you'd be surprised when you start visualizing and imagining and things like that. We can get ourselves into a good zone, and that's what we want to get to. And so I mean, you like what? I mean, obviously we had a great class last year. With that, man. And what was y'all thoughts on the class, and man, and what are people, because first people need to see, that there's a need to do so, right? We think just because we get out there on the range, and we shooting or we practicing, and working on the fundamentals, that will translate to real world situations, and it does not.
Not at all. I actually telling the class that tonight. I was like, I can tell you a million different things. You can train a million different times. but nothing prepares you for a real life situation, regardless of the fact. I was like, because all your excuse me, all your training that you do throughout the years, you could have been shooting for 40, 50, 60 years. But if you actually never experienced through a job, obviously having to take a life, then as a civilian, you'll never know. So I feel like that's what training should mean to everybody. Just to be honest, you're going to train, but psychologically, you'll never train enough and be ready to accept that fact if you ever have to do it. I'm assuming. You do what you have to do because of self-preservation, of course. You're like, I want to get home to my family, but like we talk about, it's the aftermath if you have to get therapy, which you possibly should, to do that. It's my take on the training and how it relates to the real world situation.
Being able to get those reps in, and consistently getting those reps in from a training perspective, obviously there's before, during, and after, to a self-defense situation. And, mentally, no, you can't prepare for what, trauma may come with, defending yourself in a defensive shoot, right? However, leading up to that and getting those reps in, and practicing, for if, Lord forbid, never, but, if that situation, comes along, then, theoretically, right, you should know, what it is that you need to do, and you let your body and the mechanics of it take over from that point, right? Some people, like a lot of us, obviously we carry every day, and stuff like that. But, when you really think about it, even though I carry every day, even though we have that sense of security with carrying every day, how many of us, if you really think about it, like how many of us would be ready if that time ever came, right? And there's been some situations, right? And whether or not the media really wants to tell it, so many hundreds of self-defense shoots happened last year and every year, right? That help people get back to their families and so forth and so on, right? But you'll never know that if
because right now gun control is running the media.
Right, exactly. But hundreds upon hundreds of people every year are using their weapons in self-defense, saving lives of themselves, families, friends, or whoever the case may be, and sometimes complete strangers.
I was gonna say, to go back to your question, what did we get, especially from like last year, seeing it. This class offers a plethora of things. Let's take the average shooter, right? The average shooter goes to an indoor-outdoor gun range, in a controlled environment, of course, and you're usually just standing up shooting that paper. A lot of people, if I ask you what you're thinking about, you have a blank mind. Like there's no goal. Some may go into, all right, let me practice on my trigger control, let me practice on my sidearm, but the average shooter is just going for mere pleasure. So one, this opens it up, right? We all talk about, oh, I'll be ready, but can you really ask yourself, just people in general, have you ever drawn from your holster? Do you know what it feels like to remove your shirt and draw? All these, when we talk about seconds count, are we ready and understanding, in that time, one, if we're not going to freeze up, or if we have time to, so it helps one, get into that mindset, before we even start shooting. We want people to understand, like, these aren't paper targets. If you miss, that could be a car, that could be property, that could be a person, getting you in that mindset psychologically. A lot plays on the psyche. So if we can get in that mindset, as fast as possible, the more proficient our training will be, and I think that's what really kind of opened it up last year, allowing people to understand, like, yeah, this, although this may be paper and cardboard, these are, in our mind, these are actual. If I miss this may be a person.
Right.
It also could have been Sean's tempo that got everybody set
Yeah,
straight.
relax.
Because he came out with some tempo, boy. I was like,
Right.
I looked at Keeman, I was like, is he serious? And I was like,
I loved it. I mean, it
Billy
just,
was like, let him do it. Just let him do it. I was like, yo.
I feel like it gets people
But it worked.
in certain
did work.
it does. It's not your
Psychologically,
average range where you're just going and okay, oh shit, all right. These guys are really like, okay, let me get my mindset. Because a lot of people have never really trained like that before, to be honest. To actually train how you fight for real.
And one thing to add to that, and it never occurred to me until I thought about it tonight. I was talking to Alex after the class. You have to remember, in a controlled environment, like at a range with us, you're wearing ear protection. You're not just going to hear gunshots. You're going to hear screams. You're going to hear dogs howling. You're going to hear everything. So, like you said, it's going to play on your psyche. Excuse me. So you have a lot of endorphins and adrenaline rushing through you at that exact moment. You never know how you can react. So that's why we tell everybody, as far as like you train, but come and take our concealed carry class, because it is more than the gun, to be honest with you. It's definitely
you're not gonna be thinking about these precise, super accurate shots in a matter of seconds. You're worrying about stopping the threat as fast as possible, making sure you hit that box. What we call pretty much center mass. But yeah, you're not going to be thinking about, let me put a shot in the same. No, that's
you ain't gonna be thinking about, is my beam on? You ain't gonna be thinking about, is my light on? You ain't gonna be thinking about none of that. It's so fast paced.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's one thing that people do need to understand about this class. Yes. I mean, so I I don't, we just got in that zone, you know what I'm saying, last year, you know what I'm saying, and wanting
especially my boy Carlton, shout out Carlton. He was in the zone.
Yeah, Carlton was stupid. Getting in that zone, man. That was the fun part, and then painting that picture, So just the last weekend, we was running through some drills and stuff like that, and had an opportunity with. The three of Ken wasn't with us, but to run through some of them drills and stuff like that, and I actually got some good footage with B, and so she spoke in that thing, using that as the promo vid right now, so if you didn't check it out, man,
shout out to that video, that joke crazy.
But we're gonna be doing more, a lot more stuff like that, and then trying to get those reps in. How can you walk and chew gum? Can you
your belly and pet your head at the same time?
Right. Can you control your weapon? Switching from one target to the next target. Without being,
I thought you told me,
completely out of control. Can you move? Can you, pick up one foot and move? You know what I mean? And so, that's the thing that we're going to be really focusing on and dialing in on. This is not a class where we shooting, 50 rounds or maybe 2 box ammo. No, this is a class where we are pumping rounds down range. Like your knuckles, like if you have that proper grip on that gun, right, you're going to feel that. You're going to end up knowing your firearm. If you don't know it by now, right, you're going to be in a position to where your firearm, right? You're going to test what your firearm can do, right? You're going to test what your firearm can do.
Sean, if you've ever played any type of high school sports, and for the first time when you were getting back in your sports and you had to do 2 a days, you had to go through all this stuff. If your body don't feel like
just started hurting.
If your body don't feel like that, then you ain't do something right. You should feel absolutely exhausted by the time you finish.
But people are afraid too, right? They be like, man, what if I come out there and stink it up? Like, and this,
we don't
like,
care,
this is not
bro.
a competition.
No,
You know what I'm saying? And I need you to know
this ain't
that,
a
you know what
first
I'm
place
saying?
winner or second place winner. Who
Right.
shot the best? No.
Right. I was talking to a guy, you know, earlier. Like, you know, this is not a competition. You know what I'm saying? What if I come out there and suck? Then we get better. But you'll be surprised from the start of that class, right? And then where you see yourself at the end of that class, you know, just how far you came, you know, in that 5.5 hour period. Like, you'll be totally surprised at that. You know, but this isn't out there to come out there with you know, and try to show up your peers and things like that. This is to do the best that you can do while getting the reps in that you can get, you know, and hopefully apply that to your everyday carry. You know, like, do not come out there with your drop legs on, right? Because you don't carry like that, right? If you want to outside the waistband holster, fine, you know, but you know, come out there, you know, with a decent holster, decent gun, you know, some you know, extra magazines, you know, and we gonna get it going, man. This is not a time to feel self-conscious about, you know, I'm not able to shoot this or whatever the case may be, man.
I
Like,
can't rack the slide. I don't know what I'm
you
doing.
know,
Same that time.
well, I will say, like, if you can't rack the slide on your gun, right, this may not be the class for you, right? Just, you know, putting that out there, right? Because evidently, you know, in some standpoints of, you know, functionality of the gun, like, before we get into certain drills, like, we will be taking things in stages, right? I need to know, like, we all need to know that everybody has a competent understanding, you know, and some type of proficiency with the firearm, right? Can you put 2 shots, you know, on paper, right? If you
We
shoot
need you to
off
have the
the
basic
paper,
fundamentals.
or if you got the basic fundamental, you can't shoot nobody else target, you know what I'm saying? And we only 3 yards away, you know what I'm saying? You need to understand some of that stuff before we can graduate you into, you know, the next stage of this training. So, you know, if you're still scared of guns right now, this may not be the class for you. I would say come to a different class that, you know, we offer something that's a little bit slower. We working on the fundamentals and stuff like that. All right, because then we're gonna be graduating from, you know, that to drawing from holster, right? Incorporating lateral movement while drawing from holster and putting shots on target, right? Then drawing from holster, you know, and then, you know, putting shots on target, then transitioning those shots on target, you know, putting those shots on target from transitioning, you know. And so then we're gonna be working on slicing the pie, incorporating certain things, you know, still while drawing from holster or some type of self-defense situation, or maybe from within the home. I mean, the courses of fire that we have planned, you know, is we've been working on this for so long, right? This is my Bible, you know what I'm saying, for right now. Like, I'm studying just like I did last year, just like I continuously do, you know, put myself through the training, you know, and all of that, you know, to one, become a better shooter, and then two, you know, pass my test of being able to deliver and teach this class effectively, you know. Yes, you know, we may be a little hard, you know, or whatever the case may be, but, you know, everything is all in love, you know what I'm saying? And pushing yourself, you know, just like, you know, last weekend, you know what I'm saying? We push each other, you know, to do more, get faster, you know, be more accurate, things of that nature, you know. So I don't know, man. Anybody got anything just from that standpoint?
I feel like, you know, I at least want everybody to come out with an open mind, because that's what's important. You know, don't come out there saying, oh, I'm a novice, so I can't do it, like we stated earlier.
Or on the
Have
other
open mind.
end of that spectrum too.
Yeah, or same thing. Like you gotta understand the basic fundamentals, but just like Planet Fitness, we not out there to judge anybody. They're out there to get training just like everybody else. They paid their money, they're gonna get the training that's needed. So there's no judgment on that, on that field. Once we cross that gun line, there's no judgment at all. I don't care if you can put that. We want you to get the basic fundamentals, then you can advance. It's just like life. You got to crawl before you walk. So don't think you're going to come out there and shoot like John Wick. And if you can, then all right, we're going to just keep advancing you to the next level because you want to get better and better. So
you still going to get those reps in right then and there too.
Exactly. Exactly. And I know for me personally, one of my biggest goals is I want to learn to shoot right-handed because I could be disabled on my left at one point. I never know. I have to learn to shoot ambidextrous. So that's my goal for the year.
I'll say that. Keep in mind, although this is a hobby, this is fun, we have to come out there with an expectancy and intentional of learning something, getting something. I don't care if you're a novice, if you're and very advanced in the sport, come out there expecting to learn and leave with something, even though, because at the end of the day, right, this is a defensive Texas class. This is something that you can take back and use. Hopefully we never have to use it, right? Only as a last resort. But if, present it and we are backs against the wall and it is our last resort, we need to, understand, what we need to do to get the job done, to stop the threat as fast as possible.
So, it's funny you say that, right? Because we had somebody sign up, man. They were like, man, I don't know if I need to take that class, man. I kind of been, shooting for a little while and, stuff like that. And, like me and my friends and stuff like that, I'm pretty solid, so I don't know if I don't really want to waste your time. This is what said to me, I don't really want to waste your time. Because I don't think I need that. And I just look and me, personally, I'm like, if you feel that way, one, there's an inherent flaw in that, right? Whether or not it is something that I know, right, or have done before and things like that, right? I still I can do better at it, right? I'm not an expert shooter, right, or whatever the case may be. And there's techniques that I can do better at, whatever the case may be, right? One, we should all be thinking like that. And then two, he came back, he was like, no, I'm signing. I was like, you should, because, it's like that regardless, right? We going to see for sure.
He humbled himself.
And and to those, more advanced shooters that come out, right? We going to push that. We going to see. We gonna push that, and hopefully you reach a different and a better threshold after that. You know what I'm saying?
Keep in mind, man, the best, man, there's always room to grow, and that sounds so cliche, but it is. No matter how good you think you are, you can always improve, and build what you already have. So again, this is all mindset, right? Not coming out there, I'm the hot shit, whatever. You may be good. We may applaud you. You're great. Let's get better. Let's get better. Let's get better.
Right.
Because no BS, we've all seen with our eyes a guy come out there and I'll shoot everybody with a sky. So it can be done.
Right.
So don't think you the best because you got a $1,500 gun, a $2,000 gun, or whatever the case may be. Somebody can always
like Sean say, paper don't lie. We gonna see.
We gonna see, bro.
We gonna see.
But and I feel like they don't understand. With all that being said, we're going to test ourselves. Like we're also we're receptive to our own, flaws as well. Facts. Like if we feel like we can shoot better, we'll be like, damn, Banks will be like, all right, hey, I need you to give me 5 straight more, give me 5 more. At the end of the day, like we do the same thing with ourselves. We push ourselves.
Like we all got a desire to get better, man, because we want to. The film don't lie, the paper don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So, if we put them shots, on the target, you know what I mean? Then if we have too good of a group, right? All that means is we ain't pushing ourselves fast enough, right? Because if your group's too tight, that means you got more room for improvement. That means you taking your time too often for your skill level.
And that's not shooting defensive.
Right. So right, exactly. You know, and
Because
then
somebody put
two,
down 3 targets with 2 reloads in less than what 3 seconds. I ain't gonna say nothing though. It's in the reel. Y'all gotta go check it out.
Shut up, kid.
Hey, that reload was so smooth, bro. I was in the shop by myself, like, let's go, bro. We on the map. Y'all better stop playing with us, bro. We do this for
like, bro,
real.
first of all, you need to realize people need to realize that we do this shit. Like
For real.
we do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think because people look at us like, oh, we the gun store. You know what I'm saying? Or we conceal carry folks or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Like no, this shooting stuff. Like we do this. You know what I'm saying? It's all time you can put some respect on our name for real.
Facts.
You
Stop playing with
know.
We sound pull up on you. Put some respect on my name.
Pulling up on you, nigga. You know, you need to understand.
And y'all don't see how small that still target.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You know, I don't think you understand how small that target is.
It
Bro.
don't
That's
really
a
give
6-inch
justice.
target shooting at 25 yards. That's a hard shot.
Thank you.
With the EZ, right?
And knocked it 3 times.
You know, so yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna get that group, you know, spread out a little bit, right? You know, and if you off the paper, all right, that means it's time to dial that back just a little bit, right? Till we back on paper, we control it, right? But if we too close, right, then that means that we got some room for growth, right? Balancing speed and accuracy, right? Getting that good mix, you know, finding that right balance, you know, or what's good for us, you know, because you don't want to be too overly, you know, ambitious and lose control of the weapon, not having the proper grip, you know, when you draw from holster, all of these things come into play, you know.
And
But
keep in mind, I was gonna say everybody that that is coming out there with the red dot, we will, you will have a chance to sight that in. If you didn't know, you do have to sight in your red dot. It's not just you can't just put it up there, slap it up there, and expect to hit, wherever you're trying to aim at. You have to definitely sight in your red dot.
yeah, so it is quite a bit of individuals who don't realize that, but most of us, I believe, do now. But yeah, you'll have opportunities to get yourself sighted in, and stuff like that, before we get things rocking and rolling. Now, this year that's different than last year is we're going to be incorporating some defense rifle and some defense shotgun, right? I'm not bringing a rifle out this year, right? I'm bringing a shotgun, right? Because that is what I use in the home, right? If I had a choice to grab my tool, right, it is going to be, my tool of choice would be a shotgun. So I'm going to be bringing my shotgun. If you want to bring your rifle, right, be sure you can do so, right? We're going to be incorporating some of that in class as well. Um, you know, Working through homes and things like that, and understanding your angles, of attack, right? Working on your footwork and understanding how to methodically, make sure that the coast is clear if need be, right? So, that is different, than what we did last year, right? Now, keep in mind, right? That's going to be, thrown in there at some point, right? But this is a pistol dominated class, right? 300 rounds minimum, like, are going to be fired. Like, and I say minimum, and I mean loosely minimum,
So
because
6 boxes.
like you're going to need 6 boxes minimum, right? Now we'll have you covered in all of that, because we do have cases upon cases upon cases
That Jeep
Get
will be
it.
back.
of ammo at the shop. I mean, we have nearly 60 cases, of 9mm at the shop, going for a hell of a price. But regardless, right?
And y'all better
Um,
get them now because we flipped them like bottles of water, bro. Easy. They
yeah,
moving.
no doubt. And then, so yeah, 300 rounds minimum, right? But prepare bring an extra 50 to 100, right? Because that's minimum, right? That depends on your streams of fire, how many rounds, we how many reps we getting in, stuff like that, right? But minimum, right, 300 rounds. There's a lot of trigger time, and within getting that trigger time in and getting those reps in, and then that's the only way to get better and feel yourself getting better.
Another point. Make sure your gun is well oiled before you hit the
That's
range.
that's for sure. Make sure your weapon is in good working
And not
condition.
bone dry.
Because once we get out there and find and that gun, like you
If
got
I see
malfunction
3
every
double feeds
two
in
rounds.
2 reps,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And if you got the malfunction, that's fine too, right? You gonna slap, rack, and roll, baby. Keep it pushing, right? But keep your gun oiled up. Go ahead and clean it good the night before, because you're gonna need to clean it good the night after. You know what I'm saying? And so,
and for all those that's coming out there, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, be prepared, because you're going to be yelled at when the aviators go on. Okay,
shut up, bro.
when the aviators go on, it's gonna be like, all right, listen up, god damn it. You like, okay.
No, I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna yell.
These are humans, not targets. Like, oh no, man, all right now. He got me up. I'm awoke.
I'm not gonna yell too much.
Be mentally ready too.
Honestly,
I was gonna say be mentally ready too, because last year was pretty hot out there. So we'll have bottles of water, but just
that was also
keep
in
in
July
mind.
too,
It
though.
was
it was
hot.
smoking out there, John July. It was
Boy,
also
everybody
July.
was over there like just doing this. Like,
I'm glad we're doing it for the first time in March, because that should be, and keep in mind, if it's raining, we still training.
We gotta put that on the shirt right now.
All right.
If it's raining, we still training. Trademark.
The army way is if it ain't training, if it ain't raining.
Man, we had one of the best training days that one time it was raining.
Oh my God!
We thought about stopping that day and we didn't, and that day was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say, bro, is like I'm proud of everybody in this team, bro, because if y'all know all the adversity we've overcome, and we keep a positive attitude, bro, and just get better and better at it. It's ridiculous. So, shout out to VTSA.
Yeah, got to keep it moving, man. Got to keep it driving. Keep this train on the tracks, man. And so it's definitely a blessing, to be able to get out there and do this course, and we'll have so many other opportunities, man. And I guess I'll go ahead and get into it too, man. The range, man. On a seasonal, right, potentially seasonal, maybe longer basis, right? Private membership is membership only, right? The only way to get in is if we know you, right, or somebody we know you, right?
Everybody got to walk up and get a little gold coin like off John Wick. We know you.
We put in a lot of resources and time, into this race. We got 10 lanes. We got it's actually going to be more like 12, but 10 major range. We got pistol ranges, rifle ranges, and we got a transition range, right? Open, for our members. It's going to be $70 a month, right? But what we going to be doing, right? I need you to understand, like, if you are one of the first 20 members, right, you get $20 off, right? And then that also is with your family plan as well, right? And with the family plan, right, you will get 3 people, right? Yourself, a spouse, and one other person that is related to you, right? That could be your kid, or whatever the case may be, right? That's what the family plan, right? And you'll get a discount on that for the first 20 people, right? Like, they need you to hear me with this because, like I said, this is very, this is only open, for private members, right? You're dropping a lot of money on this range, planning things out, giving folks a nice, clean, area to stretch them pistols out, stretch them rifles out, steel targets, and being able to get some good, solid training in. You ask for a place outside of 75 feet to stretch your rifle at, and we providing that. Right? You can shoot out still, shoot your targets, like work on your craft. So it's coming, and so that stuff, will be out here soon. The only thing that you have to do, all right, is you have to take an RSO class, right? You have to take an our RSO class, okay? Because we're gonna leave you alone, right? We ain't gonna be hovering over you, right? But you need to know one, and you gotta recite it. You gotta know by the heart what are the 4 universal safety rules, right? This need to know. You need to know this in your gut, right? You need to know how to, maintain, and even, keep the people around you safe. But it's coming, all right? So I'm telling you, these I already know for a fact. Like, there's no for we all know for a fact that these these first 20 slots about to be gone. Right? So you can procrastinate if you want to. Right? And if you got any questions, you know what I'm saying, you can hit us up anytime. But
And if you think he lying about the 20 spots, come to our gun shows. People think we lying. Oh man, I'm gonna go walk around. Damn, y'all sold that? Yeah. Actually, 3 other people asked about it after we sold it. So procrastinate if you want.
Yeah, procrastinate if you want, but I'm telling you, when these go up, I will hop on it, and then too, you will get another incentive, for paying it off early, whatever the case may be. Simple things like if you help us maintain for a month, you get a month off your membership, right? Same, simple things like that, and so, we putting together some good stuff, man. We doing this for you guys, and having a consistent, solid place where you can come get your time in, and if you think about copying our shit, don't. You can if you want to, but you can't do it like us.
Well, asked and answered.
Because you already know. Well, you already know. We trendsetters, and some of them are like, you heard what they go out to do? Yeah, let's go ahead and hop on that. Nah, man, but just know, man, we about to have a good time. 2023, man. Something spring, summer, fall. 2023 is about to be on, man. But it all starts March 25th, man. So don't procrastinate, man. Listen, go ahead, sign up, man. Like I said, the course sponsored by the U.S. Army. Cool. All right, appreciate them guys. USCCA, You know, still waiting on Gun Owners America, right? But yeah, appreciate those folks, man. You know, anybody got anything?
Solid.
I think you said it all, my boy. My boy. Let's get it.
Well, you know, if that's the case, you know, class is up online, man. Go sign up. Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
VAtactical.com.
You said what? Yeah. Straight like that.